Hi, we're back. We're gonna make just a plain white macaroon. As you can see in my other videos, we're making praline paste with pastry cream. We're gonna fill our macaroon with this. So what I have, the amount of ingredients I have here is gonna make about approximately 45 cookies. So we have here is 270 grams of almond flour. That's going to go right into our food processor. Make sure your food processor is nice and dry. In that, we're going to put our powdered sugar, approximately about 345 grams of powdered sugar. Go right in here. We're going to use the food processor just to kind of make it nice and fluffy. So it doesn't, it's not clumpy. Once you have it in there, I'm going to get my strainer. We're going to sift it into another bowl once we get it all done. Can you dry that out, please? Make sure it's very dry.
Okay.
Okay, I have about seven egg whites in here. And one important thing is make sure your egg white is at room temperature. So it's been sitting out for a while. I have about 105 grams of granulated sugar. It's going to go into our egg whites, but we're going to actually whip our egg whites to a nice froth for about 3 minutes at a low speed, while we pulse our mixture of almond flour and powdered sugar. Mix and incorporate it now. We're going to sift it into another bowl. Make sure that your strainer is bone dry. Speed this up just a little bit. We want the egg whites to be nice and foamy before we add the sugar to it. Our almond flour and powdered sugar mix right into a sifter. We'll do a little bit at a time. Like our egg whites kind of getting foamy, so I'm going to lower it down just a little bit because I want it to let it mix for about a good 3 minutes. So let it agitate that egg white, denatures that protein a little bit. We won't need this food processor anymore. Keeping track of time for me, it's 6:33 and about 6:34. That's when we're going to add my sugar to the egg white.
So, it's 6:34.
Okay. So you get all that in there. Shift it all in there. You can also use spatula to kind of push it through the hole. And add the rest of our mixture. There you go. Put that in the sink. Thank you. What's our time, Jaden?
6:43.
What is it?
6:43 still.
6:43?
Oh no, 6:35. 6:35.
Okay. That's what I thought. I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting this through my sifter here. I think maybe because it's a little bit wet or a lot of oil in the almond flour. Let's use our spatula here to get it through the sifter here. Oh, almost there. Looks like the egg whites. What time is it, Jaden?
6:35.
35. One more minute. We're going to add the sugar to our egg white. So a meringue.
Stand here.
It's the same method as making a French meringue, which is it's a baked meringue.
It's 6:36.
All right, so I'm going to add my sugar to this. A little bit at a time. Then we're going to increase our speed. And we're going to let that go for until you get a nice stiff peak in there. Almost there. Now some recipe will add like a vanilla bean into the almond flour mixture. Get a little more flavor. So when do you add your color? The color actually goes right into the meringue after you get to a nice stiff peak. And when you use color, you really just need like a drop at a time to get the right color that you want on your macaroon. Well, looks like we got it all through here. Jaden, can you put this in the sink? There you go. We'll speed this meringue up just a little bit. Other things you can add to your meringue when you're making a meringue is cream of tartar or meringue mixture, which is a dry egg white powder mix, kind of stabilize it. But if you have a nice, like a nice clean bowl with no oil in it, you'll keep your foam. You'll have no problem making a meringue. I'm going to speed this up a little bit more. Almost there. Really nice stiff peak. That means that when we take the whisk out, it should stand straight up rather than curl. It won't curl down. It stands straight up. I'm almost getting there. The probably number one cause of meringue falling down on you is either over mixing or that you have oil in your bowl. Get too close. I'm gonna check at I'm gonna check to see where we're at as far as peaks go. Not quite there yet. Still kind of soft, or medium peak. So we're gonna go ahead and let me show you that real quick. So with this right here, it's not staying on. See that it's not staying on my mixture. So I'm gonna keep going. it goes. A little stiffer now. Almost where we want it. Let's check it again. Nice and shiny, nice and stiff. And there it is. It just stands straight up to a point. That's where we want. Take this over there. Now what we want to do is fold in our almond flour and powdered sugar mixture. We're gonna do about a third at a time. Use a dry spoon to add about a third of this at a time. Go right on top. That's approximately about a third. What I'm gonna do is just kind of fold it and turn until it completely incorporates, and it's going to be a little shinier. But it looks like it's, because of the almonds really thick, it's going to look like it's going to fall, but it's not going to. As long as you go in circles. So you go in thirds until it looks like it's completely incorporated in there. It looks pretty nice, so we're gonna add another third. It's gonna be to a point where it's gonna be nice and shiny, and if I drop it, it's gonna sit on top. Right now it's just it's still a meringue. So I'm gonna add more of our mixture of almond flour. And then a third. Takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Keep on folding it in. Keep on folding it in. It's almost there. And it looks like to the point where it looks like it's going to collapse on you, but just keep on folding. A lot of work for these guys. That's probably why they charge you a lot of money for it. So the filling can be anything from a jam, pastry cream, whatever can stay in the middle. It's an ideal filling for these meringues. Okay, I got that in kind of a nice consistency. So almost together now. I'm going to add the rest of the flour in there. And my assistant Jaden will take it and wash it for me. Thank you. Alright, so keep on folding this. It's gonna, once you get to where it's like a ribbon stage, or it kind of piles on top of each other, it takes like 15 to 20 seconds for it to actually melt into the mixture. That's what you want to have. Once we get it there, I'll show you. I'll just pipe it. I'm gonna pipe it and then bake it off after letting it sit for about 15 minutes. To let everything kind of settle down. Another trick is I've seen before where you can take the pan and kind of smash it to get all the air bubbles out of there, and you can kind of bake it right away. But in this way, you just let it sit for about 15 minutes, everything's just gonna settle down, and the air bubble is gonna come out, and it look nice and shiny and smooth. So what you're looking for once it's baked, you should have a nice foot on the bottom of the cookie, and it's gonna be nice and shiny on top. Nice, shiny, and smooth. So hopefully that will work. If you follow every step completely, it should come out nicely. So I'm still folding this in. Not quite there yet. It's a good workout here. I'm actually sweating working from home.
I'm lucky I don't have to do any of it.
Okay. Let's see. It's almost there. Nice, not quite smooth yet. So let's see. I'll show you what it looks like now. See, it's kind of coming together almost, but it's not there quite there yet. Okay. Now I think we're getting somewhere. Yep, the batter is staying on top, and it takes a lot longer for it to actually melt or incorporate into the mass.
It looks nice.
It's getting smooth. Okay, getting smooth on there. Almost there. See how it kind of sit on top of each, and it's not actually incorporated. It's incorporating in there, but it takes a little bit of time for it to assimilate into the mass, and that's what we want. I have my piping bag set up with a medium tip. Right over here into my cup holder, so I can actually put my batter inside.
They didn't have one.
It's getting there. I like it to be a little smoother. Okay.
Wow.
Just like that. It's smooth, ready to go in my piping bag. I'm using a medium size tip. You can use a double bag if you like, if you have two bags, so you can switch off tips. But I'm just going to use this to pipe out my macaroon. I'm not using it for anything else. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to pipe this out. And again, I'm going to let it sit before I actually bake it off. So we're baking it like at 325 for a good maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, I have a little bit of batter in here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to pipe it. Squeeze it down here. Hold up the tip. We're going to pipe little circles. So for purpose of time, I'm just going to show you what these looks like. I'm making it about a medium-sized macaroon. So it's just going to lay there for a good 10-15 minutes before I actually bake it. So join me on the next session. We're going to once it's big, we're gonna fill it with praline pastry cream.